believe our hostels are habitable for persons living with disability? Their structure, look at how they're structured. Do you think they are favorable for persons living with disability?
They are.
They are.
Yeah.
Becky, I've seen you nod very, very strongly. Explain to us why you feel they are favorable for persons living with disability.
Okay, for me, they're very favorable because they will be able to easily access to the institution. For example, their classes. They won't have to say me this for example, hawa watu wanatoka Kiganjo, then they come all the way to school. It's like it's very stressful for them.
Hear me. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm talking about the structure of our hostels, the way they are built, how they look like, the structure of our hostels. Okay?
Yeah.
Assuming we have a person who is on a wheelchair, a visually impaired person, can they easily access our hostels? Exactly. There is an example, the ladies' hostels, those spiral stairs, the staircase, the spiral staircases. How can a person with visual impairment access those, assuming all the ground floor rooms are full, and now the only place they can access are the top floors? How do they access those top floors? That is why I'm asking you, do you feel like our hostels are favorable for persons living with disability?
I said yes because if the ground floor is full, we as the student council, that is the reason why we are here. And you can speak to maybe those who are in ground floor so that they can move up and the person who have those challenges can maybe occupy that space.
You know how students can be.
Yes.
They might be like, I also have the right to stay here. I do not want to stay in the top floors. And I also want to stay with my friend who's here on the ground floor, I mean. Or rather, assuming this works and the person living with disability actually gets a space on the ground floor, they have friends on the top floors and they'd like to go see them. How do they access them?
But now the friend can come down so that they can interact. And
We can also carry them up.
You can carry them.
Yes, because I can see I've been seeing my friends, like those on the wheelchair, they do carry their friends up there. Yeah.
Wow.
And
so
if they are good friends, they will.
Bet?
Yeah, that is also, personally, I'm seeing it as a challenge to those living with disability. But how are we going to help them now? At least, what if we work with the school management, talk to them at least to see that if these people cannot get space at the ground floor, how are we going to help them? So as the vice president, I'll work hand in hand with the management to ensure that at least we can have even the lifts around the hostels.
Lifts, elevators, wow. Thank you very much for bringing about that point. How many buildings in the entire Mount Kenya University have lifts? 3. If the school had the capacity to install other lifts, I believe they would do it in the tuition areas. Like the FLT block is a block that really requires a lift. So how are you going to convince the institution to install an elevator in the hostels and not the FLT or MLT block?
Thank you so much. So I believe that as the Mkusa Council, we have a voice. And whenever we walk and talk in one voice, we will be listened. We will speak together with the organization. We bring them on board and tell them, this is the issue. How are we going to help these students? This has been a challenge since. Yes, we have students. Okay, even if their classes maybe are at ground floor, how else are we going to help them? Maybe also they have classes like, let me use the men's hostel. There we normally have classes at the top. Now, if these people with disabilities are having classes there, how are they going to access these classes? So we have to bring them in onto the board and also explain to them the reason why.
Before we move on, Achieng, I'd like to ask you, how practical is installing a lift or an elevator in the hostels? Do you think that is something the school can do?
They can if they have the capacity, but maybe right
Maybe.
now
Let's be sure. Let's avoid using, you sound unsure to the students if you use
Yeah.
words like maybe, I think, I assume. Let's be sure. You're leaders. You're going to be elected into leadership positions. You have to be certain with what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, do you think it is possible for the school to, is it practical? That's the word. Is it practical for the school to install elevators in the hostels?
It's not.
Amazing. Moving on. What is the valuable contribution that you will bring to Mkusa if elected? What is that one valuable contribution that you will bring to Mkusa if elected? I think, Becky, you can go first.
Okay. One valuable, pardon?
One valuable contribution that you'll bring to Mkusa if elected.